it's a bunch of good shit that I can tell people in the marriage. You know why y'all get divorced so much? Because you don't have to get divorced the same way you got married. If you had to get divorced the same way you got married, it'll make a whole lot of that shit that you mad about a whole lot different. If I got to come sit in the courtroom and watch you, yes it is. Because if I get to come sit in the courtroom and watch you tell all the reasons why you don't like this motherfucker no more, like I got to see you tell him all the reasons why you like them, then that'll make you realize that most of the bullshit that you going through ain't worth it. So understand, you have to figure out how to love the person you with regardless. And in the days that
practice this shit?
No. In the days that you wake up and don't love a motherfucker, those are the days where your marriage is tested. So figure that out. Prime time said you gotta finish how you start. So however you got her or whatever you did getting her, you gotta always do those things. And you gotta, but this the thing that.
Exactly.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You consistent if that's the case. But the way that he explained it was you gotta identify what those things are that got her. Most niggas don't. Most niggas just think it's just them and they just so cold, whatever they got going on, because our ego worked that way. But you ain't never took the time out to find out from this woman what actually made her like you from the jump.
And that's
what
a hard ass thing to do.
And what it's going to
man.
take for you to consistently maintain those things regardless of what happened. So if I start the way I start and come in keeping it real about who I am, why would it be difficult for me to get my life this way?
I know how to work this shit
But
out.
like you said though, the way the male ego works, it's hard as fuck to separate the shit that your ego made you think happened, what really happened,
Right.
and why she really fucking with you.
Right.
It might not be none of this goof ass shit.
What make your mind straight to that?
Because you gotta know. But I watched my mama go through relationships with dudes, and one thing I say that nobody ever did with her is keep it real with her. Keep it real with her from the gate, because you don't really know who this woman is in comparison to who you are, because she don't know who the fuck you are. So she playing to a person that don't exist for real. You giving her a perspective of you that don't exist, who you really are at your core, who you gonna be when ain't nobody looking and she ain't around. That's who you need to expose as quickly as possible. So you ain't never gotta stray away from that. You ain't gotta think about what you're doing. You ain't gotta think about who you are. You ain't gotta think about how you moving, because she done already seen who you truly are.